Great joy. Once upon a time there was a man with the unpronounceable name of Scooby-Dee-Ridiki-Ruduku-Radaka-Kapadam, whom everyone called Am. His name came from the first word he uttered as a baby, when he was found by villagers, abandoned, all alone at the edge of the forest. The whole village had looked after him, and once he became an adult, they offered him a small hut on the outskirts of the village because he didn't have anything. Although he had been of marriageable age for some time, he didn't start a family and got used to living alone. In fact, he was in love with a woman renowned for her beauty, her noble heart and lively mind. He had been in love with her since a very young age, but had never told her for fear of being rejected. For many were those courting this woman so beautiful, endowed with so many qualities, and whose family was one of the richest in the country. Thus, he kept his love secret. Since he didn't have anything, he decided to be of service to the people of his village, helping them as best as he could, always smiling and with all his heart. One day, a wise man passed by his hut while holding in his arms a small, newborn, all-white calf that had been donated to him. When he saw the smile and kind heart of Am, as well as the destitution in which he lived, he immediately understood the situation in its entirety, together with all the conditions involved in its creation. Right away, he gave him the all-white calf and left. Am was so grateful that his smile grew even bigger and transformed into a huge, bright smile. He immediately named the calf Great Joy. Then he took the greatest care of him and treated him like a son, always giving him the best food and the best place. He was so happy with his little all-white calf. He decided to step up his efforts to offer him the best life, and each time he looked at Greyjoy, his huge bright smile shone forth, while his heart grew bigger and bigger. And so the little all-white calf grew into an exceptionally beautiful and strong bull. One day, aware of his good fortune, Greyjoy thought to himself, "I have been raised with the kind care and love of a man whose name is truly difficult to pronounce. Scooby-Dee-Ram, Scoobadadram, Scooby-Dee-Croo, Scooby-Dee-Ridiki-Ruduku-Radaka-Kapadam, and I too prefer to call him Am. He is so kind, always working tirelessly to give me the very best. There is no doubt that thanks to him, I have become the strongest bull in the country. I would like to repay him by showing to everyone the strength he has allowed me to have." Then Greyjoy went to his beloved protector and told him, "I heard that preparations are well underway at a wealthy merchant's palace for his son's wedding. You should be hired quite easily. Then, when an opportunity arises, bet 1,000 golden coins that your all-white bull is the strongest in the country and can pull 100 loaded carts. Thus, Am went to the palace and came to learn that the painter in charge of the decoration had just fallen ill. On top of that, the murals absolutely had to be completed as they were the final touch to embellish the palace for the merchant's son's wedding. So Am immediately volunteered and Scooby-Dee-Ridiki-Ruduku-Radaka-Kapadam set to work at once and painted with enthusiasm, so much so that the job was completed in no time. Even though the murals were much more colorful than usual and not always entirely straight, everyone was very happy with the result, except the groom-to-be. The latter snorted disdainfully as he passed by "These barely dry scribbles are boring, nothing to compare with the sumptuous paintings of the royal palace. Once I am married, I will take my wife there, and we will never come back." There were so many things to prepare that they had forgotten to sew the dresses and suits for the servants and their families. The tailors, being already too busy with the merchant's family, Am immediately offered his services and, Scooby-Dee-Ridiki-Ruduku-Radaka-Kapadam, he set to work at once, whistling merrily, so much so that soon all the dresses and suits were done and ready. And even though the colors were much brighter than usual, and the cuts were not always quite straight, everyone was very happy with the result, except the groom-to-be. The latter walked in front of Am, sniffled loudly and said, "Fortunately, my distinguished guests pay no attention to the piece of cloth worn by the servants. Anyway, my butler already has the royal palace uniform. Once I am married, I will take my wife there and we will never come back." Finally, the long-awaited wedding came. The celebration was to last several days, and there was so much to do that Am was hired for all the chores. Scooby-Dee-Ridiki-Ruduku-Radaka-Kapadam here, Scooby-Dee-Ridiki-Ruduku-Radaka-Kapadam there. Everywhere he went, he immediately set to work humming and singing. Soon the entire palace was resplendent with colors and everything was completed on time. Everyone was very happy, smiling and dancing, except the groom-to-be. The latter went behind Am, who was helping in the kitchen, and said disdainfully, "There is a strange smell in here, something I find deeply unpleasant. I bet that..." Am immediately seized the opportunity and cried, "I bet my all-white bull is the strongest in the country and can pull 100 loaded carts all by himself." "What nonsense! Your bull, and how much do you bet?" 1,000 golden coins." 1,000 golden coins? Bet accepted, you stupid rascal. Bring your bull in front of the palace this afternoon. I will introduce my future wife to everyone, and there will be games and music. We'll have a good laugh. So Am went home and prepared great joy. He bathed him, gave him the best food, and then placed a garland of flowers around his neck. Finally, at the appointed time, he brought him in front of the palace. Everything was magnificently decorated, and 100 carts painted and adorned with flowers were there, loaded with nice furniture, chests overflowing with precious fabrics, silk and golden dinnerware, fine dishes and jewelry. The carts were tied one behind the other by ropes interwoven with golden threads, from the axle of the front cart to the drawbar of the next cart. All of a sudden, a gong rang. Then the doors opened, and a colorful crowd wearing luxurious clothes appeared. The merchant's son came straight towards him, accompanied by his fiancée. Am was astonished to recognize the woman he had always secretly loved. When she turned her beautiful face towards him, he lowered his eyes. The merchant's son questioned her. "Do you know this rascal?" Without waiting for a reply, Am went off to harness Greyjoy to the lead cart, grumbling, "Rascal, rascal!" Then, at the signal, when all the witnesses of the bet were present, he shouted, "Now you go, rascal! Pull these carts! Let's go, rascal!" "What's got into him?" thought Greyjoy. "Why is Am calling me a rascal?" And Greyjoy refused to budge an inch. Immediately, the rich merchant's son came and asked for the agreed payment of 1,000 golden coins. Am paid without saying a word, and in doing so, lost everything he had except his hut and his bull. Then he untied Greyjoy and went home without looking back. Once alone, he threw himself onto the floor. He no longer had a bed anyway, and cried his eyes out. When Greyjoy arrived home too and found him overcome with such grief, he asked him, "Are you taking a nap?" "How could I take a nap when 1,000 hard-earned golden coins have just been taken from me?" You're like a father to me. Since I have lived with you, have I ever broken anything, bumped into anyone, or done anything wrong at all?" "Never, my child." "So, why did you call me a rascal? You're the one to blame, not me. Go back to the merchant's palace and this time bet 2,000 golden coins. But remember, do not call me a rascal again." Without arguing, Am went to the palace and found the merchant's son triumphantly showing off to his guests. "I'm not even married, and my fortune already increased. Thanks to this rascal, I bet 2,000 golden coins that my all-white bull is the strongest in the country and can pull 100 loaded carts all by himself." 2,000 golden coins? You again? I cannot refuse that. Accept your bet. I will be happy to take your bull along with my wife and everything to the royal palace. Come back tomorrow evening. There will be an opening celebration before the wedding ceremony. Am looked at the bride-to-be and saw her eyes questioning him with a sad look. He quickly turned around and went home. After a night's rest, he prepared Greyjoy with even more care and attention, bathed him, and again placed a garland of flowers around his neck. The bull was so beautiful that when they set off for the palace, crowds of admirers from the village followed them. From afar, Am saw the merchant's son parading among his guests, right in front of the wide-open doors of the illuminated palace. But there was no trace of the bride-to-be. As for the groom-to-be, as soon as he saw the all-white bull coming, he couldn't prevent an envious and wicked grimace from distorting his face, and was practically rubbing his hands with glee. In the same place as they were the previous day stood 100 decorated and loaded carts, but this time adorned with lights and candles for the night of festivity. Once again they were tied one to another with ropes interwoven with golden threads. Then went to the lead cart, where he harnessed Greyjoy. While making one last step towards him, he whispered, "Now, Greyjoy, my fine fellow, pull these carts along. Let's go, Greyjoy!" With a simple great tug, Greyjoy pulled the whole string of 100 carts until the last one completely crossed the start line. At once, the crowd cheered in delight, celebrating and Greyjoy. No one had ever seen such a strong bull, and he was declared the strongest bull in the country. Many among the villagers and the wedding guests spontaneously made generous offerings to celebrate the amazing achievement. The rich merchant's son was obliged to honor the bet, but when he grudgingly approached to hand over the 2,000 golden coins, he had a mean and vicious look on his face. Right at that very moment, the bride-to-be appeared and took both their hands. Scooby-Dee-Ridiki-Roduku-Radaka-Kapadam, I finally managed to say it. All is well now. Our 3 lives are at a crossroads. Speak from the heart, and your Greyjoy will be mine as well. All is well. I love you and have always loved you. I offer you my Greyjoy completely and happily. Will you marry me? Yes, I love you too. I've loved you forever, With that, the merchant and his son immediately left the village and went to the royal palace. On their way, they met a wealthy heiress, and upon their arrival, a marriage was quickly arranged. As for the wedding of and his beloved, it was celebrated that very evening in the village with Greyjoy as the new hero. This is how Greyjoy entered the legend as the strongest of all bulls, capable of pulling the heaviest of burdens out of love, and how the strength of love radiated its infinite treasures in the hearts of all beings through space and time. It is also said that since then, throughout the whole country, there were no more harsh or unkind words, for they had all been transformed into gentle and kind words. And when the people of the country let something slip out, they cried, "Scooby-Dee-Ridiki-Roduku-Radaka-Kapadam!" That was Greyjoy, inspired by Nandivisa la-Jātaka from the Jataka Tales, adapted and told by Relax Petso. Thank you. Special thanks to Bernie for his precious help with the English translation, and thank you to all the children.